Hello, I'm David Grossman, and welcome to MENSCHlife. We are here with Tova Raz. Welcome, Tova. Glad to have you with us. Tova is an author, and we're going to talk about a book that she recently completed. In English, it's called One More Generation. In Hebrew, it's called Od. How's my Hebrew, Tova?
Od Dor Echad.
Od, which means one more generation.
One more generation.
My Hebrew's not Od. Dor vador. That's we sing.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Dor vador. So welcome to the show, and thanks for coming in to talk to us about this very interesting book. So tell us about the book. I mean, this is somewhat controversial, I think, to say the least. What you're working on. Give us some background. What it's about.
Here and there, people here that we're looking for lost Jews in China, in Afghanistan, and one day I heard that there is Palestinian, that Jewish descendants.
Right.
And the first time I heard it, I said, "Oh, nonsense! Somebody is crazy." There is one guy. His name is Tzvi Messinai. That I know him. He dedicated his life for this idea, and he has a group of people that are helping him. And he did the research, and they found out that they found out on the 2001, I think, I'm not sure, that in a Spanish university, they did their DNA testing, and they found that the DNA of the Palestinian there is very close.
Did you say a Spanish university?
Spanish, in Spain. Yeah,
okay.
I cannot say the name of the Spanish. It's a long name.
Okay.
I don't remember. And they found that the DNA of the Palestinian and the Jews are very similar, and are very far from the Arabs. And those people that they believe that the Palestinian, not all of them, part of them, the descendants of Jewish, they start to interview Palestinian. They know that the parents had doing Jewish customs like lighting candles and sitting Shiva after death, not like the Muslim, I think.
And of course, sitting Shiva, for our viewers who don't speak Hebrew, like we have some non-Jewish viewers, is the 7-day period after death that you're in a state of mourning for 7 days. That's sitting Shiva. So some of these Palestinians were doing, and this is not an Islamic.
No, I think, I'm not sure. They sitting 3 days.
Okay.
And not 7 days. So I heard it from this guy that doing the research, and he's believing in this idea. And he's coming once a year to Toronto, and I heard it 5 years ago. First, as I told you, I was laughing, and this 4th year ago, okay, I was listening, and 3 years ago he came with a lot of evidence that he's right. Like there is a disease, genetic disease about death.
Right.
That it's a mutation that you can find it only in Jews and Palestinian, and the DNA and the Tay-Sachs, the terrible disease. Also, you can find them the same percentage with in the Palestinians.
Is Tay-Sachs a European Jewish thing?
Yes. Yes, and
so that's very interesting.
It is very, very interesting. So I was listening, and I started to be fascinating about this story. And the last time he was in my house and we was talking, I thought he's like a prophet from the Bible, like somebody with idea that we should listen to him.
Right.
And I start research by myself, and then I went to Israel, and I asked him for stories, background stories. And the stories start to build in my head, because this is a fiction. This is not...
so the book you wrote is a fiction, but he wrote a book.
He wrote a book. Tzvi Messinai, he wrote a book, a big one.
That explains it all.
Yes,
right.
Yes. But mine, it's fiction. It's a story about a guy that his life, and he's dedicated his life to return those Palestinians that they know that they are from Jewish background, and he want to help them to come back to Judaism.
So is there any similarity between this character and Tzvi Messinai?
No, maybe one that the high-tech, he come from the high-tech, but no, there is no similarity. This guy is not married because I wanted to create some romance. There's some romance, and there is things that he's doing, no.
And Tzvi MENSCHlife was also from the high-tech industry. He's a
Yes.
high-tech executive,
Yeah.
but now he's dedicating his... Is he
Life.
still pursuing this?
Oh yeah, very much, very
Right.
much. But this is a fiction book, and there is no similarity about it. And only the idea that is both of them, the high-tech.
So why did you feel that this was important to write it as a fiction?
First of all, I was fascinated about the story. It's an amazing story. I don't know. I didn't have control about this. I wrote it like obsession.
Right.
I wrote it almost a year without stopping, and I felt good when I finished it. I felt good. But if you ask me, I know what you're going. You want to know about the politics side. No, there is not a problem. I don't have ambition about...
Well, not necessarily, but when we talked before, you were mentioning how you thought that maybe more people would, open their minds
Yes,
to this
yes,
if,
yeah, you're
if
right.
it was brought to them
Uh-huh.
as a fiction.
Yeah. I thought maybe because there's so many ideas in the world and people getting information, the wrong information, I thought maybe if people will, not only Jewish people will read it, I hope the translation is in process, we didn't finish it, maybe they will open their mind and think, oh, maybe we'll got the wrong ideas, maybe we've got wrong information. And if I will succeed that few people will think like that, I will feel good. I will feel I did my
Right.
part.
Okay, we have to take a short break. We're going to be
Okay.
back in just a moment. We'll talk a little bit more about this book. Od
Dor
Dor
Echad.
Echad.
Od Dor
One more
Echad.
generation. We'll tell you how you can get a copy of it as well. It's going to be eventually translated to English. So hang in there. We'll be back in just a moment with Tova Raz. Okay, welcome back to MENSCHlife. We're speaking with Tova Raz about this book called One More Generation, Od Dor Echad. Well, I have to ask you about this title first because...
Okay. I will explain you.
Yes, please.
The idea is that those people that are helping Palestinians, they know that they are Jewish. They need only one generation to learn Judaism or get the guts or the help from Jewish people, from Israelis, to come back to the, not Jewish life, to Am Israel, to come back to us, like the Anusim, those from Spain. Some people want to come back and to be Jewish. So from the point of view of the Jewish people, that you need only one generation, we will help you and you will be part of us. Your children will be part of us. The other side of the point is the Palestinian that teaching history, new history, to the children, and they said, oh, we will brainwash your children and you will forget those nonsense about Jewish heritage, Jewish customs. You will forget, you will be Muslim, totally Muslim.
And it'll be erased and forgotten.
Exactly, yes.
Right. Okay, so you see it's a fairly critical time now.
Yes.
That it's going to
One
be
more
one
generation.
way or the
Exactly.
other.
That's the idea.
Now, I understand there is some history to this idea before Tzvi MENSCHlife. Ben Gurion, for example, he either wrote books on this subject.
Yitzhak Ben Tzvi.
Do you want to give us a little bit more of
Yes.
the background of this
Yes.
idea?
I don't know exactly. There was a guy named Balkin, Israel Balkin, I think. He lived in Gedera. And he
In what time period?
150 years ago,
Okay.
130 years ago. He said he believed that many of those falachim, we call them the farmers, the Arab farmers, they are descendants of...
Falachim?
Falachim, it's
Okay.
an Arabic word or Hebrew word, I think it's Arabic word. Many of them, they are Jewish. And Ben Gurion and Ben Tzvi, especially Ben Tzvi, Yitzhak Ben Tzvi, that was the second president of Israel, he was known as a guy that looking all over the world to find Jewish people. And he and Ben Gurion wrote a book in the early 20th century about those Palestinians. They didn't call them Palestinians, they called them Arabs there. Palestinian, it's a new name from the after 1967. So where they come from, those, I'm taking a subject and from the air, no. The idea is that when the Roman exiled the Jews 2,000 years ago, and they took most the Jewish from the shore they didn't bother to go to the mountain, what we call Sumeria and
Judea and Samaria?
Judea and Samaria,
Okay.
I forgot the words. Judea, I want to say Gaza. And they didn't went every mountain village and took them to out of the land of Israel. And so those Jews left behind. And those are the Jews. The 2,000 years they lived there. Till
I see.
what's happened, there was...
So they were later converts.
Yes, when
to Islam.
when the Muslim came and conquered the land of Israel, they forced them to convert to Islam.
But the Jews who were in Judea and Samaria, what time period then were they converting to Islam?
I know, but I don't want. I think part of them 1,000 years ago, and part of them 200 years ago.
Right.
Those that are still the grandmothers still doing those customs, lighting candles and doing sitting shiva. Probably those are the late to convert to Islam.
And do these people that are still observing these Jewish customs, do they realize that they're Jewish customs?
No. No, it's funny when you ask them, some of them doesn't know that they are Jewish customs. Some of them, from father to son, they're telling them, you're Jewish, you just have to know the Jewish. There is like, there is a town called Yatta, and there is people they call Mahamra. Mahamra, it's the winemakers. And Muslims not allowed to make wine and not drink wine. But those people making wine.
And drinking it
and
too?
Drinking it. And there is people around this town, this village, coming to drink. They come and buy, drink, and left.
They need it for the bar mitzvah.
Probably the bar mitzvah, yeah. But they feel urged. They want to drink the wine. And
well, I guess they don't consider themselves devout Muslims. Anyway.
Yeah. We can talk about hours about that there wasn't a lot of mosque when the state of Israel was built, and the women didn't cover themselves like Muslim, and there was, I think that there wasn't so Muslim like they are today.
So some of them know that they're Jewish, and
Yes.
they tell it amongst themselves,
Yes.
like from father to son, you were
Yes.
saying. But others, they have no idea, and they just do these
Yes.
customs.
Yes.
So is there? So Tzvi Messinai, who was played a big influence in your life, is he out there now?
Yes.
Trying to raise awareness, trying to bring
He dedicated
them
his life.
back
Yes.
to Judaism, and
That-
what's his experience like? Is he being accepted? Are people starting to? Is there any movement?
I think he has some group, we can call it movement, I don't know if it's the right word, but he has a group of people, many of them Palestinians. He has a lot of academia people, they're helping him, and they try to raise the awareness. He was here in Canada, and he went to, my book starts that he went to Washington to meet people.
Yeah.
But that's what he's doing. But my book is not, it's not about him. It's about
Right.
the idea.
I understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think part of it is to raise awareness about the idea, right? Because he wrote this very detailed book, and you
Academic.
thought of maybe doing something that would be people would be easier
Yes.
to absorb the idea.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for me, I don't read Hebrew too well. At least I need the vowels and a dictionary.
Yeah.
But this book is being translated.
My daughter is translating it, and probably it will take her another half a year to
Okay.
finish translating, and it will take time, but
Okay.
it will be in English.
But those who speak Hebrew should read this book
I
and
hope so.
learn about this topic. And it will be available on Amazon soon,
Yeah.
very soon,
Yes.
hopefully. Is there anything about that we need to know? Is it, they print it
It's,
upside down or
they-
backwards and forwards? Or
Yeah,
what
they
did
have
do
problems.
there?
They have problems to print in from the right side to the left side, and I'm getting it back and forth. And still, I'm not happy what we are doing. And
Right.
they told me that when it will be appear on Amazon, it will be on this side, because this is the English side.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do, I will add here the name Od Dor Echad. It will be here.
Okay.
So if people,
but anyhow, they'll be able to read it
Yes.
like a proper
Yes.
Hebrew book
Yeah.
once they get it.
Yes.
But okay, so they're going to add. They'll be able to see it properly on Amazon.
Yeah.
Your concern was they wouldn't even recognize it
because
it was
yeah, because-
backwards.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So So that'll be, and also we put your email address here.
Thank you.
If people
I
want to
appreciate it.
email you, I guess
Yeah.
they could. You could send them a copy.
Yes,
as
exactly.
well.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, fascinating. I look forward to reading it in English. But I thank you for taking the time to. The other day, you explained the whole concept to me, which we won't give away because people should pick up the copy.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Thank you
a
very
fascinating book and very interesting subject. Od Dor Echad is
One
the
more
name of the book.
generation. Yeah.
My Hebrew's so
It's fine.
not
No,
so
no, no.
bad?
It's very good.
You're very good.
Very
Od
good.
Dor Echad. Tov meod. Metzuyan. Thank you very much, Tova, for being with us again. Very much appreciated. The book, One More Generation by Tova Raz. We'll be back in just a moment with Mark Covant from Chabad. We're going to learn some things about Chabad and about Tanya, very interesting component of what the Chabad movement. So hang in there. We'll be right back on MENSCHlife.